Are we a species obsessed with money? This is something I've been meaning to speak about for a while now. I didn't want to say generation because that's too niche, and I didn't want to say society because that's too vague. But species might be a better word, because throughout all of history, it's shown and been prevalent. Now, what do I mean by are we a species obsessed with money? I mean, everywhere we look, people are being run by money, and not to the things that are necessities. Why did I stop at necessity? But necessities, such as food, water, clothing, shelter, etc. Instead, we've become a society that's bleeding our time for things we don't need. I watched a movie recently called Fight Club. Everyone knows it. And it had an extremely beautiful quote in it. Slaves with white collars. We work in jobs we hate to buy shit that we don't need. And I think that defines society perfectly. But there's more to it. We've become a society run on figures. We are valued based on what we have, not who we are. What's in our pocket, not who we are. And that's hard to grasp. When you look for a spouse, you look at what they have, not who they are. When you find friends, how can they benefit you, not what can they show you or teach you. Instead, it's become monetary. Everything we do. People can't spend time with their family without it being monetary, because they can make money, right? Now, so the question remains, are we slaves to money, or is money a slave to us? From what I've experienced in life, I think people are slaves to money. And I think you know that too. You look around and people delay marriage, delay learning, delay growth, delay their dreams for money. It's more important. Their career is more important. Their bank account is more important. They can't pick up the responsibility because it's too costly. That's not a life that's not, as humans, we never lived like that. You shall be able to live whether you have or you don't. For God says in the Bible, a verse I love, is you cannot have two masters. Paraphrasing, of course. You cannot serve both God and money. You choose one. And as you choose one, you lose the other. And once your heart becomes loved to this figure, and once your heart becomes attached to that figure, you can become far too gone for help. And everywhere you look, this is not something that's niched in society. This is everywhere. The youth especially. We've got social media that portray money more than anything. Look at the rap songs these days. I don't even need to say a lyric, but I guess you already have one in your mind. I can guarantee you do. And it's become this race for wealth. And the funny thing is, this wealth means nothing. I'm not talking in a spiritual sense, I'm talking about in a physical sense. This wealth is worthless. After it's been taken off the gold standard, it is worthless. Your money means nothing. Your dollar is backed by nothing. So therefore you work for nothing, but you sacrifice everything. And that's a hard realization. It is a burdening realization as well. I hope we can, as a society, remove ourselves from the dollar and remove ourselves from money as a whole. But the best way I've found to counteract that, and counteract being obsessed with it, is to survive without it. You can have your necessities, but if you can get to a point where you're living very, very little with little, then you kind of break out of the shell you're stuck into. I had that at a period of time where I was living extremely minimalist. And that minimalist wasn't from any personality defect or anything like that. It was a choice for that period. And what that did to me was remove the veil between me and the figure. I started seeing it as what it is, a tool, but not as an end. It was a means, it was never the end. But once you see money as an end, your brain is far too gone, as I said before. Now, there's many things you can do in this position, but I'd just like to speak about how everyone is obsessed with it. And you've probably seen this firsthand, parents and family, when money is involved, as Voltaire says, everyone is of the same religion. People switch, people can be bought out, people hang around with the people with money more than the people that don't. So it's a touchy subject, but it's something that I think people need to speak about more than what they do now. And if it's not speaking about it, maybe pondering as well is very significant. As a society, we need to spread awareness on how this figure is really nothing, how we've been controlled by something that's a tool and not a goal, and how we've lost so much chasing this figure, how much time people have lost, how much family people have lost, how much lives people have lost, how many people have been killed for money, how many people have died for money, how many people have sacrificed for money. I leave that question to you. Thanks for watching. I'm trying to get better at speaking on the camera. It's not like I would if I were having a conversation with someone, because I don't know how, and I stutter on my words. My brain doesn't have a defiant objective goal, climax, etc. So I like to freestyle it, and over time I'll improve to the point where I've improved. I'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you can get yourself out of the grip of this tyrant money, as I've said. And I know you can. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment them in the comment section, and I'll definitely respond with however I can help. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Have a great rest of your day.